talk about my own healing journey, particularly what brought me here to this space where I'm called to be of service, to where I'm working with Better You, to where I'm working with the tools, the techniques that I am working with. It was a very roundabout, indirect journey, but details seem to me so much less important now than they used to, because I know one of the things that I think perhaps kept me from healing was my absolute focus on the details. And here I find myself where my story doesn't really seem to matter to me, except unless, in context there's some sort of usefulness or in any particular situation. But to give an overview, I guess, a brief overview, music is what was foundational in my life at first. Grew up, whatever, experienced whatever it is that I experienced. We all have our stories. I wouldn't necessarily describe my upbringing as charmed, but I had enough blessings to give me some tools to obviously deal with it all. So let's just fast forward to me finding myself in the pursuit of music. And I was about 18 years old, moving to New York, thinking literally naively, just without any idea of how things worked, thinking I would be famous within a couple months and that, whatever. Instead, found myself within a few months living on a sidewalk, which lasted, maybe almost a year. But again, beautifully, on the flip side of that, it is what led me to, my first internship at a major music studio that also became the place where I laid my head for the better part of 2 years, became close with the owner. And he put a futon in the spare room and let me sleep there, use his New York Sports Club pass to shower across the street. So ultimately that thing that I thought was, or that can be seen as maybe so traumatic, is what led me to my first record deal, my first publishing deal, all these things. So to try and shorten a little bit more even and get to the real point, which is bridging the gap here to why I'm here now and what it is that I'm doing now. My music career, I ended up doing awful deals and being really stuck from record deal to record deal, paralyzed. I was hostage. I wasn't legally allowed to release music for years on end. Had no control, no creative control. So here I am, blocked from doing what I feel like is my calling, my purpose. And in order to really deal with my own inner experience, my bitterness, my resentment, my depression, my deep depression for not knowing what to do, where to move, no longer having anything, no practical skills, no life skills, don't know how to get a regular job, anything of that sort. It led me to yoga, meditation, breathwork, these things that ended up helping me enough that I came to be a teacher. And as again years go on, I'm not allowed to make music, or I'm not allowed to release music still. I kind of moved completely away from the creation of music and started finding my ability to express and create in a new access point. I got to experience creation and creativity in a new access point, which was helping others find access points into the types of experiments and tools and techniques that were working for me to heal from the inside out. And so, yeah, I found myself, 15, 16 years later, we're talking up until literally, a couple years ago max, being freed after long legal battles and no longer confined in the musical prison that I had once thought I was in. And I found myself now being able to, and massively and fortunately being able to bridge the gap between these two worlds. Being able to not only independently create music that is drawn from this source of inner freedom and kind of softness that was definitely not always there. But at the same time, I get to share with other people these experiments, these experiences, and I've gotten relatively decent at again just kind of presenting things in a way where people tend to feel it's possible, at least, and that's what I enjoy. I know damn well I can't do the work for anyone. I can't do the play for anyone, however you want to frame it. But I do know that the things that have worked for me, I'm very good at putting out there in the air for open exploration. And you know what? It seems so far people have been able to find some experiments that work for them as well. And there's nothing really that kind of makes me feel more vital, more alive, more in purpose and flow than getting to share a space with someone else, than getting to have a shared experience with someone else of that inner kind of freedom, that softness, that expansiveness that we were blocking ourselves from in one way or another prior to that. We'll just say that's the whole journey, because again, I know I didn't give too many details, but just enough to know I came from somewhere, found myself somewhere else, and luckily I realized that I've actually got what I need in me in order to make that shift.